What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports back again with another one. We got a big time card coming up February 21st. Headlining it will be Ryan Garcia, aka King Ryan, taking on Mario Barrios, a guy that seems to always find himself in a big fight against a big star. The man that fought Gervonta Davis, Manny Pacquiao, Keith Thurman, all on pay-per-view. So this is going to be very, very interesting. I'm going to break that fight down next week, but I want to break down a fight on the undercard featuring junior welterweight champion in the WBA, Atuanne Russell, taking on Andy Hiroaka. A lot of people seem to think this is a 50-50 fight. I don't see it that way. Hiroaka is a good fighter, but it's going to be the first time he's going to be on this level fighting the caliber of opponent like a Atuanne Russell. Now, he's been in the ring with Ismael Barosas, and I think he's going to have to fight that type of fight to win, to have a chance to compete and be in a competitive fight with Atuanne Russell. But from what I've seen, man, he just ain't been in there with the type of fight that's going to prepare him to fight Atuanne Russell. A lot of people saying it's a 50-50 fight. A lot of people saying that Hiroaka is a guy that none of the champions at 140 will be interested in getting in the ring with. He's just that dangerous. He's just that risky. I don't see it that way. He's a guy that is a classic 1-2 puncher out of the southpaw stance, but he goes straight back. I think that's going to be a problem against Russell, going straight back. He don't have a lot of head movement. He's a guy that does know how to control distance. He did that in the Barroso fight, hitting him with the 1-2, but he wasn't doubling up on his jab. He was basically fundamentally sound that fight, but he was very, very basic. Straight up and down, no special effects. It wasn't a lot of complications to his style. So I think Atuanne Russell is going to steamroll him. If he fights like he fought in the Rayo fight, he's going to steamroll the guy. He fought the greatest fight I've seen of his professional career when he fought Venezuela. It was a combination of aggressiveness and boxing. In Palo fight, I thought he was over-aggressive, made a lot of mistakes, and allowed Palo a lot of opportunities to counter him, and he lost that fight in a razor-thin fashion. Even fighting that way, a lot of people thought he won that fight, but he was beginning to be a guy that was a little bit too reckless in his aggressive nature. We seen it even in the Rastis Bartholomew fight. He was very, very aggressive in that fight, and Bartholomew was able to counter him and catch him with a lot of shots coming in. That fight, in a lot of people's opinion, prematurely got stopped, but he had been fighting that way for a while. I think once he lost the Palo fight, his trainer, Mr. Gary Russell Jr., was able to get in his ear and tell him, say, see, you fighting that style, you're able to get away with that, you know, against the caliber opponents that you have been fighting, but you found a guy that, you know, was ready for that style and was able to negate that style enough to get a decision. And I thought he found a perfect blend of aggressiveness and boxing technique. Came in behind the jab, was hitting Rayo with the 1-2, wasn't over-committing, was in the right range, and he just basically dominated Rayo from round 1 to round 12, beat him from pillar to post. I think that version of Russell will defeat Hiroaka. I don't think this is a 50-50 fight. I don't see it. Hiroaka ain't been in there with the competition. Caliber fighter like a Atuanne Russell. I think his best opportunity is to fight like he fought against Barroso. But I seen him fight in earlier fights, and he was just a guy that coming forward, landing big shots, 1-2, and just steamrolling opponents that weren't even C-level fighters, in my opinion, man. He's been over there in Japan fighting a lot of fighters. Now, when he came over here to the U.S., he fought again Barroso, and he fought a guy named Edwards, who had skill and technique, but didn't have the heart, in my opinion, man. He got caught with some shots by Hiroaka, and he waved the white flag. He wasn't strong mentally in that fight, and I thought it cost him in the matchup with Hiroaka. I don't think that's going to be the case against a fighter like Atuanne Russell, who is in my opinion, one of the most mentally strong fighters in boxing. He's going to come forward. He's going to come with aggressive pressure, smart aggressive pressure, with a boxing technique. Kind of reminds me of Errol Spence Jr. in that regard. He's going to come in behind the jab. That's another thing, man. When he fought Barroso was hitting him with some overhand rights and stuff, but Barroso was coming in with the 1-2. He wasn't coming in behind the jab. I think if Barroso would have came in behind the jab, he would have had much more success than he had in that fight. But even just coming in, just throwing the 1-2, he was catching Hiroaka with some shots. And if that's Atuanne Russell, he's going to be doing much more damage because he's much more twitchier than a Barroso. So he's going to be fighting a guy like a Barroso that's much more twitchier, faster hands, and a guy that's going to be coming in behind the jab, unlike Barroso, who was just coming in with the 1-2, trying to load up on every shot. So that was his problem in that fight. And even in that style, he was able to land and catch some shots on Hiroaka. I'm talking about clean shots on Barroso, flush shots. Hiroaka got a bad thing in going straight back. Again, he don't have a lot of head movement, so I think Russell's going to be able to touch him with the jab. Now, I do give Hiroaka a lot of credit as far as he has a good jab, too. He has a real good jab, but he don't double up on the jab, and he basically jabs to the head. He don't jab to the body that much. I think he's going to have to do that with Russell, especially when Russell coming forward. I think the fight going to be similar to the fight with Hiroaka versus Barroso. I think he's going to try to control range, stay in that mid-range stay in that mid-range and catch Atuanne Russell with the 1-2 and basically just outpoint him in the mid-range. Kind of like what Devin Haney has done throughout his illustrious career. You know, beat you in the mid-range, control you with the jab, and basically beat you with his athleticism, defense, and technical superiority. He's going to be looking to do that, but again, he's not as athletic as Haney. I don't think his jab is as good as a Haney. And I don't think he's as superior in the mid-range like a Devin Haney. He's a guy that don't fight like the typical Japanese fighter. He's more of a boxer. He showed that in the Barroso fight. He kind of reminds me of Inoue in a little bit, though. With the 1-2, he's aggressive, but he's more of a boxer. Inoue's shown to be a guy that can box, too, along with his aggressive nature. He can box. He gets you with the 1-2, stay on the outside, and beat you that way. But he's a guy in Inoue that's a very, very aggressive fighter, looking to come forward, looking to put and inflict punishment on his opponent, and looking to win in dominating fashion. That's what Hiroaka does, but again, he's just not as twitchy as Inoue. He's not as twitchy, in my opinion, as Atuanne Russell in that boxing style, boxing on the outside of that style, coming in, you know, looking to land the 1-2. He's just not as twitchy. I just don't see him beating a guy that's got faster hands, more athletic, got a better jab, a little bit more versatile fighter in Atuanne Russell, who can box and he can come forward with smart pressure. He can fight in different styles. So if he is getting outboxed by Hiroaka early on, he can flip the switch and go to more of an aggressive style to make it a more physical fight, a more grimy fight, a fight that Hiroaka, I don't know he's going to be able to thrive in that type of fight, though, because he's never been in there with a guy like that. Barroso is one thing, but you fighting a guy like Atuanne Russell, bringing that same pressure, and he coming in behind the jab, much more twitchier, power in both hands, a more powerful puncher, in my opinion. Now, Barroso got power, but he don't have power, in my opinion, like a Atuanne Russell. Atuanne Russell power is, in my opinion, is much more prevalent in that aggressive style than a Barroso. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. I'm here to tell you right now that Atuanne Russell versus Andy Hiroaka is not a 50-50 fight. I will be surprised if Atuanne Russell loses this fight. I would be surprised if Atuanne Russell is in a very, very close fight with Hiroaka. I think it could be close early on, but I just think that Atuanne Russell just got more tools in the toolbox and just a better overall fighter, been in there with better competition. And I just think Hiroaka, man, is a good fighter, but I think he's getting blown up a little bit more than what he is. Kind of remind me of Bakra Mataliev in that regard. Mataliev had beat Tim Tszyu, and everybody was like, man, Mataliev is the best guy at 154. Nobody want to fight him. He's the boogeyman at 154. He's just that in the third. He got in there with Josh Kelly and got beat. Same thing I think is going to happen to Hiroaka, man. He's a guy that a lot of people talking high on, saying that he's a guy that nobody want to fight, and Atuanne Russell's in a dangerous fight. This might be the toughest fight of his professional career. All the champions at 140 ain't trying to see Hiroaka. Hiroaka is the boogeyman at 140 pounds. Okay, let's see. We're going to see what's going on Saturday. I think we're going to find out that it's levels to this. Skills pay the bills. And I'm looking for Atuanne Russell to put on a dominating performance and possibly stop Hiroaka late, if not win a comfortable decision over Andy Hiroaka. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you agree or you disagree, let me know your comments. Let me know in the comment section. Comment in the comment section. Let your boy know. Follow me on Facebook, Gerard Briscoe. Follow me on TikTok at JB Sports New Media. Follow me on Twitch at Briscoe MA77071. Follow me on Instagram, JB Sports 9707. Follow me on my 2 YouTube channels. That's plural, not singular. At JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend, 9656, and at JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend, 8,000. And like, share, and subscribe to JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. And I holla.